Hello critters, I'm Creature, and today we're reviewing the Room Sweeper. This is a base game shotgun that can be gotten from any mission, llama, mini boss cache, and possibly the collection book, but again, that's kind of a last resort if after a while of trying to get one you haven't. I really don't suggest it because it is just a waste of gold flex, or I think you can get this in purple. Actually, no, you cannot get this in purple. It only comes into gold. It is in the auto shotgun territory because, of course, the Room Sweeper is more or less a deviation of the Tiger Jaw, which is a fully automatic shotgun. Now, the difference between these two shotguns is that the Tiger Jaw has more damage but fires slower, and the Room Sweeper has less damage but fires faster. Now, I'm pretty sure these two kind of balance out in that sense, where if you use them side by side, you're not going to really tell a difference because they kind of equal out due to the fire rate and damage differences. But they are essentially the same weapon, so again, it's kind of like the Deathray again, where we're reviewing two weapons in once, because how similar they are. Now, why would I preferably be reviewing the Room Sweeper over the Tiger Jaw? Simply, the reason, more or less, is because I just have the Room Sweeper on hand. Also, I do think it is cooler, and also the fire rate is a little more interesting in my opinion. Like, I prefer it a lot more than the Tiger Jaw. The slower nature of the Tiger Jaw is fine, but I like the the nature of the Room Sweeper because it's a Room Sweeper. You enter a room, you fire the shotgun, the room's empty. You've swept up the room. I know, crazy. It's like it's in the name. But yeah. So let's get into the build. Alrighty, this is the build we'll be using with Buckshot Raptor. Or, yeah, with Buckshot Raptor. Well, we are using with Buckshot Raptor, but this is the one we're going to be using with the Room Sweeper. Yep, we have Buckshot Raptor, totally rocking out. Battle Beat Subwoofers, Quick Fingers to reload it faster. We are running it with a reload perk, so it kind of is redundant, but, there's kind of like a big sprawl of enemies approaching it. It's nice just to have them around. Then we have Shell Shock, just for more shotgun damage, and then Sherry Might just for more damage in general. So, pretty basic box standard build I always do for these videos. What can I say? Also, before I completely forget, this is the perks we'll be running with it. Crit rating, crit damage, with a reload, energy element, affliction, and of course, damage to afflicted targets. Now, this is a weapon that can be any element, so you don't have to run it with energy, but for the review, we will be running with energy since it is the most commonly used element. So I say let's get in game, let's test this out, because I do think it's going to be a little bit of an interesting one. I've used this gun before, but I've never really use it, if that makes sense. It's always been a bit more on, like, the side of my inventory. Something I kind of pull out whenever I want something silly to use, so yeah. Also, we are live on Twitch at the moment. I kind of don't have any pop-ups on screen because I'm kind of testing different like styles, and this is just like a clean style. The chat is here. They're here. They're not really chatting. The stream hasn't been going on all that long, so it's still a bit quiet at the moment. But of course, I stream almost every night, so if you're interested, come stop by. We do this quite often, yeah. Alrighty, we're in game, so let's craft ourselves a secondary bazooka, just in case. Now, we don't have any teammates, but since they ever since they changed how the not elemental, you can tell it's been a while, but ever since they, changed how power scaling and power-ups and all that stuff works in Save the World, we don't actually need a full team. Full team is preferred for, the final defense, but for, the case of, just reviewing a weapon, it's fine. Though we do need teammates to actually do a, defense review. We can try to solo it. It is retrieve the data, but that is going to be pretty hard. So I'm not sure that's going to really work. But as you see, the shotgun, it kills enemies fairly fast. It has a decent range for, a shotgun. But yeah, and you just run around like find a big crowd like this. Affliction will help out with, just wiping them off the face of the earth. Question mark? Because we don't know if this planet is Earth. It doesn't look like Earth. It doesn't the planet on the planet map it doesn't look like Earth. So is it Earth? I don't know. But they've called it Earth, so maybe this is like their Earth and is it nothing to our Earth? It's weird. The Fortnite lore is so Save the World lore is so weird. I don't know much about the Fortnite Battle Royale lore. I know it has it, but it's been dippy. The lore exists every so often, essentially. But yeah. But, as you see, the shotgun is pretty strong. It can kill, which, you know, is what you kind of look for with shotguns, I'd say, usually. So, yeah. I'll cut back if we get any smashers or big crowds or blasters or something. Anything worthy of, you know, reviewing. Alrighty, so sadly I wasn't able to find any mist monsters, but I decided to try to do a solo defense for this mission. I did run out of brick, if you can't tell. But the defense has started. But we have a very rough defense. So, you know, it'll be something, at least. It should kinda work. I kinda know what I'm doing for these type of defenses. Let's just go into the crowd with our shotgun and just shoot him in the face. Yep. They're dying! What else could he really want, I guess? You know, like grilled cheese or something. But as you see, the shotgun is doing fine. Our defense is super scuffed. Trust me when I say it. It is super scuffed. I could have done this a lot better. But I didn't really think about my mats. That stupid move on my side. So of course, never just use directly like one material for an entire defense. Always just try to deviate a bit. Maybe use like wood for the ceilings or floors. You know, not use one thing for everything. We have a couple. What they're called? Chrome husks. Chrome huskies, right? Essentially evil. Evil husks. Even more evil husks. So we just go in with our shotgun. You'll see that it'll just, you know, tear off his face. You know, kill him pretty quickly. The only thing that I'm really worried about is the mini boss. That's like the one thing I'm kind of worried about. Can I just kill these things? Are you able to kill them with fire weapons? Which is what I'm using right now. A fire bazooka. Shouldn't they be dying fairly fast? Whatever. So if we both look past those so scuffed defense, I accidentally placed that there. Oh, there's so many mistakes. Because I was like nervous. Like, oh no, I don't have a defense. And the mission is starting. But I built something. Not the brightest something. Actually, you know what? I think a part of me really wants to like sit back and see how this defense works. But I know it's not really going, you know, to work. But it actually is working. So I guess this one I thought isn't completely wrong. Wait! No! Where are you guys going? You guys going? No? You guys found? No, they're spawning up here. Oh no. Oh no, and I'm out of bricks, so I can't really build a proper barricade. Yeah, let's do a quick metal one. They're gonna probably break it so quick, but it should hold him back. But you see, the defense is actually working, especially since it's just a soloed rush stuff defense. Not bad. From nowhere, which side they're coming from, it's working. No, they're dying. Never give up. I mean, never believe you're in the path of your failures. I don't know. Insert something inspirational, I guess. But hey, the fence works. I hate plum husks. Yeah. Let's see if we get any like this monster. That's a really good thing. Since we are solo, it actually makes it so we can actually, you know, test what we're doing properly than usual. We want about teammates trying to rush in and kill the thing quicker. It is nice. These are actually getting a fair bit more use than I thought they would. I'm used to overbuilding and then nothing getting to the center. But since there's no teammates kind of cleaning off the husks, they're kind of all just getting through fairly fine. That was kind of impressive. Oh, impressive to my building, and also kind of impressive for them getting this far. This is like the most vulnerable spot, but luckily there's enough traps for them to kind of just pair it. So yeah. The only thing I'm worried about is these guys. I don't hear any smashers. Which is weird. I feel like there'd always be like a smasher by now. Is it just dying at traps, or like what's? Yeah, the traps are okay. Yeah, the traps are doing more than fine, which is surprising. I'm so used to playing like a solo 140 and the traps doing barely anything to the houses themselves, and they're just being a big mess. But you're actually able to solo 144s now. Not 144s, but 160s. Because this is what it is. This is a 160 that I'm soloing right now. I'm by myself. I have no teammates, no nothing, just my traps and the and the chat on Twitch. Link in the description. But yeah, I think I'll see you at the mini boss when it does spawn, because this is set to have one. So yeah, I'll see you there. Okay, the mini boss spawned right as I cut away. Anyways, let's go in with our shotgun. We'll do a war cry. Now, I didn't get any wafers, but the traps are activating, battle beat. So we can kind of just go like this. And yeah, as you can see, it's actually doing fairly fine against the mini boss. So this can actually work as a mini boss weapon, which I think also makes it so we can also kind of tell that this will also work against smashers and like fist monsters. This is completely worrying. I am very worried. Oh dear God. Oh, of course, it sounds this ice one in a nature zone. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't it? I'm gonna put these down just in case I die again. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna die again. Oh, I didn't die. Oh dear. Wait. Okay, just pop that down. Well, it wasn't a full mission, so I think we'll do another mission to kind of run out the time, because 8-minute video is not going to do well. But I'll see you in the next match. Okay, we are in our next match, and I was actually kind of wrong. I didn't have any reserves of brick, so now I'm completely out of brick. Isn't that funny? So we'll just do a little more testing, a little more of a show off of this weapon. We actually have a smasher over there, so we can test on that, yeah? Let's just do a war cry and kind of just go into the crowd and, kill them fairly fast. They're also killing us very fast because there's no death bombs in this one, but it's weaponing. Okay, I'm being a little long, so it's bazooka. Here, we'll just clean out these last guys with the bazooka so we can save the survivor. Alright, so up ahead we do have a smasher. So let's just shoot it. And it's dead. Yep. We have a encampment. Let's go in with this. Oh, and they're mostly dead. We did use some bazookas on them though, so I guess it's not a full review of the encampment. But as you can see, they're dying. They're dying fairly fast. If this was the Tiger Jaw, I would of course be taking up less ammo to do about the same job. But either or, it's effectively the same thing. So, we just saved a survivor, killed a smasher, and did an encampment in like a minute. We just did all that in like a minute with one shotgun and a little bit of help with the bazooka, but that's not bad. That's not bad, especially for a weapon. They can get base game pretty easily when it does pop up in a mission. But yeah, I think we'll go find some more smashers and we'll do some more testing. So I'll see you then. So, all right, so up ahead we have a blaster. Let's go pop a wafer and just lay into the crowd. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's definitely a lot faster, than your average shotgun, but, that's the whole gimmick of it. It's meant to sweep out a crowd, and it does. It's very tasty that way, but we have another smasher, so let's pop a wafer, and, yeah. Wow. This thing is strong. Yeah, let's just, do this. Clean that up a bit. Target the blasters, which I used to call them spitters in my early videos, because they spit, and I also I'm a big Left 4 Dead 2 fan, so me calling them a different enemy because they have the same function, except except like the one function, kind of makes sense. But a brain moment. Fall. But yeah. Adventure Time references aside, let's go, see if we find any loot up here. I did not, no. But, yeah. Let's just mine these quartz. See any enemies? We do. There. Also, I'm thinking about doing some out-of-season videos for YouTube. We're going to be recording some Halloween stuff, so do expect out of date videos, more or less. So basically what happened was that around October and, December on the YouTube channel, I kind of got, busy with, the holidays and life and stuff. So I never really got to make all the videos I was planning. So kind of what I want to do now is just, go make them. Yeah, it's out of season, and I'm going to be sticking to the Halloween theme. But it's going to be fun for me. And of course, this is more or less just a giant hobby. Where I incorporate my art into just a different format. So I think it's gonna be really fun. So yeah. Alrighty, I'm not sure what I can really say about this defense, except okay. Over here, you kind of overbuild. You don't need to build over these, really. Kind of just have to, support them. They don't really ever target them, so these are kind of fine. Wait, we have 3 floating atlases? Wait, this happened again! This happened like back in summer, where we had 3 floating atlases, and it was like really easy. This has happened again. What? I haven't seen. Oh wow. But yeah, we actually have quite an easy mission. I need to, upgrade these. Gosh, my teammates. This is also why I just really don't like randoms in Save the World. They all play really bad from my experience. And in the few times we've had good teammates, it brings a tear to my eye because I love having like good teammates. That's a really good experience to have in Save the World. But I feel like most of the time you play the game, you're just going to have the most like little Timothy and their friends playing Save the World. It's really interesting. It really is. But I'll cut back when we get the mini boss, or maybe some like, smashers or something. Wow, they spammed the fuck out of these star traps and ceiling drops. Oh, so they didn't position them right. I feel like, if they're positioned right, I think the gas tank is on like that corner, right? We can test this. I can go craft one real quick. I can go craft one this, but somewhere. Here, I'll put it right here. Here, let me go up here. Just kind of place one. Cause let's see. Yeah, if I'm facing this direction. Okay, no, it goes to the top left. So yeah, these are placed aiming north only, which is a weird decision. Interesting. But let's just go into this little crowd. Didn't I say I was gonna cut away? Didn't I say I was gonna cut away? But yeah, I'll see you when we do get the something I said I was gonna cut away to. Alrighty, up ahead we have a smasher, so let's pop a wafer and kind of just go into it. And yep, it's dead. What can you say? Alright, up ahead we have another smasher. Let's pop a wafer and Yep, it's let it go. We have another smasher. Let's pop a wafer. And it's dead. I wonder how that's going to go with the mini boss. Alrighty, the mini boss has spawned in, so let's go over and, kill it. Like before. If I can get out of this little cave. Oh my god, they overbuilt this little cave, so I can't get to it. Oh, here we go. It came to me. Alright, let's just do this. I have no ammo. Oh no, this is going so bad. When did I get out of ammo? Oh no. Oh no. The reveal, the test, the test, the test. I'm dead. No. What did it? Okay. Let's revive. Let's revive. Try to make up for the lost time by shooting into its face. I'm getting stuck on enemies. Where? Okay, here we go. And as before in the last match where we're solo, as you can see, it's doing fine. Of course, it's not the fastest weapon. Of course, the Huskbuster, the Storm King's Scourge? No, Ravager. I've made that mistake last video too, where I mixed up the weapons. But the sword, the Storm King sword, the Scavenger. That one, and then the Pot Shot, those are like the go-to mini-boss weapons, obviously. And they're kind of always going to have that crown because of how good they are. So, it can work if you're using it as a mini-boss killer. Oh, the mini boss despawns. We didn't even get to kill it. That's how much I fumbled the bag at the beginning. But, you know, from last match, we were solo and actually killed it. It works fine. You know what else can you really say except it works. Like, put a giant thumbs up on screen real quick or something. But yeah, I'll see you in lobby for the final analysis. So, would I suggest the Room Sweeper as a primary shotgun in Fortnite Save the World? Absolutely. Besides being a very functional gun, it can take care of a crowd by itself. Affliction or not, I do think this is a very good one to go for. Now, of course, you could probably swap this out for the Tiger Jaw, because they're pretty similar shotguns. But, yeah, final verdict, go for it. It's really good. Anyways, I hope to see you all next time, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye. Belly jiggle. Look at that belly jiggle. Look at that belly jiggle. Look at that belly jiggle.